Hi, let us continue our discussion on cloud computing. Today what we will discuss is some demo on a commercial cloud, namely Microsoft Azure. So, to see that how it works. So, as such I need to let me mention that there is no specific preference for using Azure, though it is a very popular and used worldwide. So, the more of it is showing a demo on the things, as my students are comfortable on this, that we thought that a demo and it will be good. And secondly, we will be using a free login of this Azure, so that it will be easy for you to replicate. Those who are interested to, you can basically create your own login and try this type of things and have a feel that how really a commercial cloud works, right. So, that is the major motivation, and any other type of things, any other type of commercial or open source cloud you can use. There is nothing binding on the thing, but just to show that how to work on a thing. Azure, as we know, that is popularly more popular for a platform as a service maintained by Microsoft, have data centers. Microsoft have data center across the globe and has a huge user base for the things, right. So, if you look at Microsoft Azure overview, so it is a growing collection of integrated cloud services which developers and IT professionals use to build, deploy, manage applications through a global network of data center, right, maintained by Microsoft in this case. With Azure, developers gets the freedom to build and deploy wherever they want using the tools, application and framework of their choice. So, that means it gives a ubiquitous access to that for developing the things. As we mentioned, it is a primarily a PaaS type of services, platform as a services. So, it is extremely useful for IT professional and developers to develop apps over this platform. And any type of, for that matter it is true for any type of PaaS type of cloud, where the developers have a developing platform of developing different type of apps on the thing, right, without having installation and infrastructure on their own premises. Microsoft Azure, you can use them as a on the cloud or on premise. That sort of options are also there. So, as I was mentioning, that Microsoft has a global presence and of data centers, and this picture we have taken, again most of the things we have taken from Microsoft Azure website. So, this picture may be little figure may be little old, and maybe there are different data center. The idea is to say that it is a global presence of data centers which are interconnected, and user can hook in to the Azure as a cloud without bothering that where its actual application of the platform is lying. So, if you look at the Azure platform, it is a group of cloud technologies is providing a specific set of services to the applications. So, the core is that Azure or the Microsoft Azure thing, where the cloud applications are launched. There is a SQL Azure, which gives a SQL server type of support. There is a Windows Azure platform, Windows Azure platform fabric, right, and Windows or other users on premise applications, they can hook into these components. So, if you look at the major components, as we mentioned, one is the Microsoft Azure, provides Windows based environment for running application and storing data on servers in Microsoft data centers. SQL Azure provides data services in the cloud based SQL server, and App Fabric provides cloud services for connecting application running in cloud or on premises. So, it is important that this is a App Fabric, it provides cloud services for connecting applications which may be running on the cloud or on premise on premise servers and other things. So, it gives this versatile way of connecting to different type of applications with a back end databases. So, it is a truly a development platform, and PaaS is supposed to be a development platform. So, look at the other, if you look at the Microsoft Azure, customer used to run application and store data on internet accessible many machines, or which can be connected through the network connection, and owned by or supported, maintained by the Microsoft. In case of Microsoft Azure, for other service provider, there are other things. Those applications might provide services to businesses, to consumers, or both, right. So, provide services to businesses, services to consumer, and both. Like here the picture shows that it can be business oriented things like whole of your or a development things or partial of the development platform, etc. you leverage on the Azure platform, or it can be the individual consumer or customers which can connect to the things. And here the Azure Fabric is there, basic Azure, and which connect to its backbone of bare metal systems, and it has data repository or data store, and then the applications which allows you to connect to the external world. So, and we have a broad network connectivity for serving the thing. So, Azure is a foundation for running applications and storing data in the cloud. So, it provides as a cloud service provider, it is a foundation for running applications and storing in the cloud, provides compute and storage services for cloud applications, right. So, similarly, it is compute, storage, and fabric. So, fabric is primarily binding the things with the bare metal, that different data centers, their resources, etc. So, it keeps a layer above the things which allows for virtualization and other type of supports. So, if we look at the component wise that uses, one is the compute component, running applications, support applications that have a very large number of simultaneous users and that can scale out, right. So, it can scale up, scale down and type of things. Storage, storing and accessing data. Applications require storage as simple blobs, a more structured way to store information or a way to exchange data between different parts of the applications. So, it is more of a storage type of services, and a fabric managing resources. So, whatever the underlying resources there, the Azure Fabric allows to manage these resources. So, provide a common way to manage, monitor applications that use the cloud platform. So, it has a monitoring tool to see that how that uses are there, and basically managing the underlying resources or the bare metal resources at the backbone. So, if you have the overall sketch, so you have this bare metal at the things, this Azure Fabric which is the which basically interact with these resources or manages the resources, and then we have different type of thing, compute, storage, compute, and there are different things, web role, worker role, then tables, blobs which are more about the storage, more component of the storage part. So, user are user, customers or businesses connects to the things through the internet. There is a load balancers which look at that which distribute the load, which has the web role which allows you to connect to the worker role of the compute. So, if you look at the instance type as we have discussed in the last slide. So, Azure provides two types of computational role. One is the web role, a running environment that users can access, right. So, the user can access through internet, and web application service. So, these are the two things which are the web role, and the worker role, an environment running particular processing, right, and ability to handle distributed or complicated task or complex tasks. So, this is the worker role. So, user request, it is a web role, it goes to the query as a worker role, and results and response comes into the other way. So, it is more of a acts as a interface between the complex task or complicated task with the other end at the user or the consumer. So, instance type, any service must include at least one role of either type, but may consist any number of web roles or worker roles, right. So, that is important. Worker role can communicate with web role using Azure storage queues, right. So, the worker role can communicate with the web role in the Azure storage queues, which we have seen in this picture. See, there is a set of queues here in the this in the storage section of the thing or storage component. Each VM contains a contains an agent to allow the application to interact with the Azure framework. So, each VM has a agent to which in turn has a which can interact with the Azure framework, which in turn communicate with the underlying resources. So, what it tries to give, right? So, it deploy anywhere with your choice of tools. So, it gives a flexibility to give deploy your application anywhere with the choice of tools. So, it connecting cloud and on premises with consistent hybrid capabilities and using open source technologies, right. So, it has a ability of cloud and on premises with consistent hybrid capabilities and using open source technology. So, it is versatile. So, if you look at, so it is one part of the looking at it is a build your apps your own way, right. So, you can have your own apps, connect on premise data and apps, right, and extend the cloud on premises, right. So, that means one way is that you can develop your apps, one way is that connect on premise data and applications if required, and extend the cloud on premises, right. So, you can extend those things, pull it to these on premise applications. So, what Microsoft try to focus on or try to give services that it is a versatile of developing apps. It is it can connect to your own on premise data and applications, and you can extend that cloud component to the on premise type of things. These are required for different type of applications or data which are something maybe a proprietary in nature, some are legacy applications running on the things, and some things which may not be so much high level of security or high level of proprietary things are there, which can always you can run on the cloud and have more versatile or quick access on the things. So, they also provide some of the protection mechanisms, helps to protect assets through rigorous methodology and focus on security, privacy, compliance and transparency, right. So, achieve global scale in local region, detect and mitigate threats and rely on most trusted cloud. So, that means what it tries to give is that different security features, privacy, compliance, transparency, which gives a trust or a confident in the user base to use the Azure. So, that the thing, and that is expected for any cloud provider, that the selection of the cloud provider depends on that how much how other than how much versatile or what type of services we are providing, what type of security to my data and applications are there. So, that they try to provide. The other things are accelerate app innovations, build simple to complex projects within consistent portal experience using deeply integrated cloud service. So, developers can rapidly develop, deploy and manage their applications. So, that exactly as we have discussed earlier also, that exactly the one of the reasons we are going for cloud, right. I need to rapidly develop, deploy and manage applications. Now, as Azure is primarily a platform as a service, so there is the development of the things is much more. Had it been a software as a service, then uses of the things may be more, and had it been a IaaS type of service, then virtual means availability or leveraging on virtual machines could have been the main focus. So, it build apps quickly and easily, manage apps proactively. So, this management of the apps, development of the apps, management of the apps and deliver mobile apps seamlessly. So, these apps can be quickly developed, managed and delivered. Analytics and data services, so is also what they claim that provide, and not only they are. So, uncover business insights with advanced analytics and data services for both traditional and new data source. So, detect anomalies, predict behaviors and recommend actions for the businesses, right. So, that means it gives several type of other meta applications, what we say. It is not only or libraries which allows you to have some sort of a data analytics and data services out of it. So, which in turn allow to add intelligence to your apps, predict and respond proactively on some situations, and supports your strategy with any data. So, these sort of things are provided by Azure. So, that means it has a rich set of data analytics and data service type of components or libraries which allows you to work on it. So, next thing what we will be doing to show you a very short demo on creation of a Python web app in Microsoft Azure. So, it may not be that a very complex thing, but it is the idea is to show that how to use Azure. So, what we will be doing here, we will be primarily using a open means free license or free login of the things. The idea is that so that you can have a, you can yourself try without, before going to paid login which has much more resources and much more means much more applications development resources. So, before that you can basically try out your hand that how the Azure thing will be there. So, before one of my scholar and TA of this course show you a running demo on these particular things, I will just quickly go through that some of the steps. So, there may be little variation on the actual steps when it is showing, but it will be easy to look at it. So, I can you can open this portal.azure.com and log into the thing. So, with your login and password. So, the login screens somewhat looks like this, and you can launch Azure Cloud Shell after logging into the this Azure platform, and you can basically download a sample app. So, in the terminal window run the following command to clone the sample app repository to your local machines. So, idea is that you can download this a particular sample app which will allow which will be easier for the beginners to update that apps according to your need, and then upload the thing same to the Azure platform and run on the thing. So, go to the directory that contains the downloaded sample app in your local directory, here where you go to the directory and then install the Flask. So, run the app locally once you check it that whether it is running locally. So, open the app in the by local dot by these particular things on the 5000 port, and hello world message will be displayed that you can test. Then configure a deployment user by using this is the command that he will show you. Creates a resource group in the dashboard of the Azure. Create an Azure app service plan, create a web app of your own, and then browse through this particular URL to open the newly created app, right. So, that you basically you so you create your own app and run on the Azure platform. So, then you configure Python in the particular using the Azure dashboard. Configure local Git which will allow you to sync the data between your local machine and the in the Azure and the Azure platform. So, push to Azure from Git, that will show you that that these are the commands. Push to the Azure from the remote to deploy the particular app, and browse this again through this particular net, right. So, and update and redeploy the code. So, use a local text editor, open main.py, that Python file in the Python app to make the changes. So, whatever you want to make into the Python thing, like welcome to NPTEL course on cloud computing, maybe the simple a straightforward text which is there. You can do other complex applications if you want. So, commit the changes in the Git, so that it is synced with that Azure. Push and upload the code to the Azure. So, these are the commands, which again will be shown on that particular means on a live demo. Once the deployment is completed, refresh the page, so that once you replace the page, you can see that that particular URL, that welcome to NPTEL course in the cloud computing, right. So, what we will do now, we will show you a particular the same exercise, maybe little bit few more screen will be there, step by step, that how you can run a simple app in using Microsoft Azure. So, the major idea is to so that you can have a feel of how a commercial cloud there. So, if you use any other open source cloud you of PaaS type of things, there the command line may be different, the type of steps may be little bit different, but nevertheless the basic philosophy will be the same. So, that is the idea is to have a direct feel of the things. Thank you. So, what we will do, we will continue with the demo subsequently.